Hey YouTube, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope the week's off to a good start for you. Let's jump right into it. Today we're going to talk about losing, gaining, and maintaining weight on a raw food diet. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go down there now and hit that red subscribe button. Then be sure you click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. I forgot what it was I was doing the other day. Somebody was talking about something and they were talking about how one of the biggest things researched when it comes to raw vegan, any of this stuff is weight loss. People just seem to be tripped up on weight loss. And I'll just start off with telling you something that I've said a million times before on it. It's not a diet. It's not a diet. The only way you're ever going to, and that's why I like to do these videos from time to time. I keep thinking like I'm going to think of something different that just might trigger it for people, because this is the longest. I'm 8.5 years into this. June will be 9. And this is the longest stretch of my life. I mean, other than being a kid, you don't care that much about what you're eating when you're a kid. When my weight has been like stable and I feel like I've been in control of my weight and my weight hadn't just erratically been up and down. I don't know. Like I say, I just seem to have found what works for me. But there's not any magic tricks. And every time I'm trying to help somebody, and then somebody will even write to me that says they've seen my videos and whatever, and they're looking for some sort of a trick. They're looking for some sort of a plan. And it's really, you've really just got to wrap your mind around, this is a way of living. This is a way of thinking. You just have to embrace it as a lifestyle. One thing I always try to stress to people, and like I say, I've had a lot of time to think about this too. And somebody asked me something the other day. I think it was in the comments here about maybe if I've ever, maybe if I could do a video on doing this when you live with somebody else that's not vegan or that's not this or that. And I'm like, this journey has been very solo for me. I realized that my journey has been very unique in the fact that I've been by myself. I don't have obligations. I don't have to deal with other people. I don't have to factor in other people and a lot of other things in just on how I'm eating. So I do things a little bit differently. My food decisions are made based on one thing. My food decisions, what I'm going to eat, like if when I'm about to make some lunch, or when I'm about to have dinner, or when I'm about to eat whatever, I don't sit there like most people and go, ooh, what would be good right now? What would be tasty right now? And, just kind of like going through, like you're just searching through Netflix for something to entertain you. No, when I'm deciding what I want to eat, it's like, okay, what are my nutritional needs for the day? What if I already have? What do I plan on having? And what are the certain things that I try to get into my diet every single day? And that guides me. And when I'm guided by my health, I'm guided by what I need to make my body operate and run efficiently. I just don't have to think about I don't have to think about the other. The other works itself out. In other words, if you're making the best choices health-wise for your body, your weight will work itself out. I mean, I don't even know that we necessarily have an ideal weight. I think we all have ranges. I think we could all be healthy within probably a 20 or 30 pound range. In other words, you could probably be 10 pounds lighter than what your ideal is and still be healthy, and you could be 10 pounds heavier and still be healthy. But if we're making those choices and we're really focusing on the nutritional part, how our body looks, the weight we are at, will pretty much figure itself out. And hey, some people are just a little bit naturally bigger or naturally going to be a little bit heavy set. And a lot of times, let me just say this too, when I'm talking about weight, I'm not getting into, oh, how do you look, or like aesthetics of it, or oh, you're not skinny enough, or you don't fit some sort of an ideal. I'm just talking about there's a certain weight, there's a certain way your body moves. Like I just know when I'm at certain weights, when I carry a certain amount of weight on my body, or I just know how I feel at that weight. So that's what it's more about. It's about being that weight that's right for you, where you feel good, where you feel vibrant, where you feel strong, where you feel healthy. And usually where all the other things are clicking. For me, it's like all systems go. It's like also too, if I'm making those good choices, nutrition, like if I'm making my choices based on nutrition, if I'm making those choices based on digestion, that's another thing too. I'm constantly kind of semi-empty. In other words, you know what I'm talking about when you're eliminating regularly, when you're going to the bathroom 2-3 times a day. You know, you have that lighter feel too. So I guess what I'm saying in a long roundabout way is make your choices based on nutrition. Another thing too, it's always going to be about consistency, what we do day after day after day after day after day, like I talked about in the last video, and not something that you can do for 6 weeks to take the weight off. Because then what are you going to do? And that's what diets have always been. If you're dieting, okay, yes, you can restrict yourself, you can do whatever, but what are you going to do when your 6-week diet, your 2-week diet is over, and then you're not restricting anymore? Generally, most people's weight bounces right back to where it was. Sometimes it goes back up. Learn how to use your scale. I know so many people are scared of the scale, and they're like, oh, I don't keep a scale in my house. I don't step on the scale. Now, let me say this. If this has something to do with eating disorders and triggers and stuff, I'm not your guy in the first place. You don't need, like, if you have an eating disorder and you're thinking about weight loss and all this type of subject, then you need to be looking to somebody other than an old crazy YouTuber like me. I don't have a problem with the scale. People are always saying, I can't have a scale in the house. It triggers me. It does this and that. To me, everything in life can be your enemy or can be your friend. Use your scale as a tool. Now, I happen to have a very good scale here that my mom just had years ago when she needed to lose weight for medical reasons. So we've got like a doctor's scale in the house. And a lot of times I'll go through periods where I'll just step on it every morning when I get up. Okay, how am I doing today? Because when I'm using it that way, it's not because I'm not fanatic about meeting any number on the scale. What I want to see is I want to see how that scale moves, how it moves. The number itself is not of any consequence. It's just that, okay, this is the number I'm usually feeling good at. Why is it here? Why is it there? And I kind of just adjust accordingly. Right now I don't need to be doing that. In fact, I've kind of reached my goal weight. I've been hitting 172 pounds on the scale. So it's taken me a while, and that's where the consistency comes in. That's why I was always, and if you go back my videos, go back like 2 years ago in my videos, 3, 4, and 5 years ago, and you'll hear me talking about all the time not being able to put on weight. I was finally able to put on weight when I concentrated on getting all my food in every day and didn't get lazy. Like there were times in the past, especially in Costa Rica, where I'd come in from yoga class or something and be just like, man, I'm tired. I don't even think I'm going to eat dinner tonight. Or, I know I need to eat another meal and I didn't do it. So for me, it's been about trying to put on the weight, and I did it consistently, day after day. Another thing too, I would say is with the scale and however you're doing it, if you slip up or if you get on your scale one morning and the number's a lot, maybe you had something the day before that's not on your normal plan, or you screwed up, or for whatever reason, you get on the scale and it's a little bit higher, or even if you're not using the scale, even if you ate something really off your plan today or yesterday, you don't want to overcompensate for that. That's where I think a lot of people make a mistake too, is they do something that they don't consider so healthy for them, and the next day they try to restrict. Okay, well, I'm not going to eat. Or they're going to go and do something really, like I'm going to fast for 3 days or whatever. No. Listen, no single meal, no single foods you eat, no single day of eating is going to cause irreversible damage. Just jump right back into your plan. And it's just basically, at that point, it's just basically a glitch, no harm, no foul. All the little tricks. Some people, it's just going to be easy for. Some people start doing a raw food diet and they lose weight. Other people, they struggle and they struggle and they struggle, and then you start saying, well, are you doing this? And it's not fair. It's not fair. Some people just have to use they have to have more tools. They have to work at it a little bit harder, like I've talked about before. Not everybody has to have a food journal. If you've struggled, get yourself a food journal. If you've heard me say that and you've never done it in the past and you're still struggling, get yourself a food journal. Write down what you're eating in your food journal. You've got that right in front of you every day. Crowd out. This is one of the most basic things. It's so basic. I've been trying to include in my message ever since I've been doing this channel. Crowd out the bad food with good choices. Crowd out the bad food with good choices. It's like it's almost like you just get ahead of that hunger. You get ahead of cravings. You get ahead of the potential to eat bad things. Like I woke up this morning, had my usual breakfast, which is about 8 or 9 bananas worth of ice cream. That keeps me full until I don't have to think about it. I could go for 3 or 4 hours after that. Then I have a nice big salad for lunch. In other words, I don't give myself a chance to make bad decisions. It's just like, okay, this is what I eat for breakfast, then this is what I'm having, for my next meal for lunch. I got snacks in there. And it's just like there's no room for bad food when I'm just chugging along and I'm eating the things that I know that work for me day after day, and those are whole plant-based foods. If you will crowd your day, if you will cram in as much fruit, greens, sprouts, different vegetables as you can, there's so much fiber in that, there's not going to be a lot of room for a lot of other stuff. Okay, throw yourself some good healthy fat in there. You got a little avocado in there. That satiates that that need for the fat, and also it's really good too. But just crowd the bad stuff out. Just get away from that diet mentality. Like I say, and I'm going to stop with this. When I first started doing this lifestyle, I just decided to get healthy, and I think that's maybe why the reason it just ended up working for me, and why my weight finally got stable, or it's been stable, over these past eight and a half years. Is that I didn't do it for the weight loss. I was really seeking health. I had a reason. I was a drunk. I had beat up my body, wasn't living well, had eaten a bunch of garbage over the course of my life. I was seeking health. I had some weight to lose, but the primary concern was health. So I just started working on and studying about and researching things about putting healthier stuff into my body. And for me, it was just a side effect, the weight loss, because I didn't think about restricting, doing this or that, how many calories am I getting, blah, 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 blah. I just thought about the health. I just thought about fueling my body, how my body was meant to be fueled. That's all it really takes. Look at animals, and I'll finish with this one. Look at animals out in the wild, not our pets, because they've been domesticated and they eat differently, but animals out in the wild are generally not going to be overweight or underweight unless you're somewhere where there's a drought condition or environmental conditions. Led to their own resources, wild animals, there's not this deviation in weight and size. And, I know as humans, we're always like, well, everybody's of different weights and sizes and shapes and whatever. And I'm like, well, that's probably because thousands of years ago, I don't know, anthropology, we got so far off of where we were supposed to be that we're not even remotely close to our ancestors. Animals a little bit more, but but like I say, there's no fat animals out there. There's no underweight animals out there unless they're sick. There's a reason for everything in nature. I believe we don't even really have to be all that fanatic about it if we just make these good choices. If we put fruits and vegetables and in our body, eat to moderation, with fruits and vegetables, moderation will fill you up. The weight will find itself, but just stop stressing over that and just start focusing on your health. Focus on your health, and I promise you the weight will fix itself. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you again next couple of days, middle of the week, Thursday, Wednesday, something like that. Peace.